Nobody thinks they're the type to fall for a scam. Not one of the millions of people who lost their savings to this one did. They weren't stupid. They weren't desperate. Most of them were kind, optimistic, hardworking people who got a message from someone they trusted and said yes to the wrong dream at exactly the right moment. That's what makes this one so dangerous. It doesn't show up looking like a scam. It shows up looking like a friend who finally believes in you. These are the 7 levels of how a multi-level marketing scheme takes an ordinary person and walks them all the way down. From a single friendly text to financial ruin, they'll still be defending on the way out. Watch closely. Somewhere on this ladder is someone you know, and by level 4, you'll understand exactly why they can't see it. Level 1. The message. It starts with, "Hey," someone you haven't spoken to in years. A girl from high school, a cousin, a guy you worked one summer with. They're warm, they're complimentary, they've just been thinking about you. And here's the part that should chill you. That message was an assignment. When they signed up, the first thing their upline told them to do was make a list, not of customers, of people. Everyone they know, 100 names minimum, ranked by who's easiest to reach. Friends, family, you. In the industry, it's literally called your warm market. And you're on it not because you were missed, but because you were reachable. You won't feel hunted. You'll feel remembered. That's the design. The whole thing runs on the fact that it's genuinely nice to hear from an old friend. So you reply, and the door opens. Level 2. The wall. So you ask the obvious thing, "What is it?" And they won't tell you. It's kind of hard to explain over text. Honestly, it's easier if I just show you, "Coffee this week?" You'll assume they're being humble or awkward. They're not. They're being trained. Because the company knows the single most dangerous thing you could do right now is type their name into Google followed by one word, scam. You'd read for 10 minutes and disappear forever. So the name gets withheld until you're in a room, a cafe, a Zoom, a hotel conference hall full of strangers clapping. The vagueness isn't a personality flaw. It's a firewall, built to get you inside before you can find out what you're walking into. Every "let me just show you" is buying time against your own common sense. And it works, because you're not suspicious of a friend. Not yet. Level 3. The dream. You show up, and nobody tries to sell you a product. They sell you a life, a laptop on a beach, mornings with your kids instead of a boss, time freedom, firing your 9 to 5. Someone turns a phone toward you showing a $12,000 month and quietly skips the months that were red, which were most of them. There's a vision board. There's a tearful testimony. There's a room erupting for someone who just hit diamond. What's barely mentioned is the actual thing being sold. The leggings, the shakes, the oils that supposedly fix everything from migraines to your marriage. Because the product was never the point. The product is the ticket stub. What they're selling is the idea that you, specifically, are 90 days from a completely different life. And here's the truth nobody admits. That pitch doesn't work on the foolish. It works on the tired. The single mom, the guy buried in debt, the person who just needs one thing to finally go right. They aren't targeting your stupidity. They're targeting your hope. That's what makes it evil. Level 4. The buy-in. You say yes, and you discover the opportunity has a price tag. First the starter kit, then the catch nobody mentioned at the beach. To actually earn, you have to stay active, which means hitting a personal purchase minimum every single month. Suddenly, you've put $500, $1,000, $2,000 onto a credit card for inventory you've been promised will fly off the shelves. This is the most important sentence in this video, so hear it. This is the moment the company makes its money, not from customers, from you. It even has a name, inventory loading, and it means the newest recruit is the real customer. At LuLaRoe's peak, sellers were sinking $5,000 and $10,000 into leggings nobody had ordered. The money in these companies does not flow up from sales. It flows up from the bank accounts of the people who just joined. You didn't start a business, you became the revenue, and you paid them for the privilege. Level 5, the garage. Then you try to sell it, and you hit a wall made of your own friends. They were polite the first time. Now they leave you on red. The leggings, the shakes, the oils are stacking up in your garage, your spare room, the trunk of your car. But online, you're thriving. Hashtag boss babe. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag ask me how. Because the one thing you cannot do is say out loud that it isn't working. So you go to your upline and admit it quietly. I can't sell any of this. And they don't say, yeah, this is broken. They say the line that's trapped 1 million people. You're just not buying enough to prove you believe in it. So you buy more. to hit rank, to unlock the bonus that's always one order away. There's the engine, fully exposed. The comp plan pays you for buying and recruiting, almost never for selling to an actual human. Which is why, by the company's own income disclosures and the FTC's own findings, the overwhelming majority of people in any MLM make nothing or lose money. Herbalife paid $200 million to settle with the FTC over exactly this kind of structure. The garage full of product isn't a setback. The garage is the business model, working precisely as designed. Level 6. You become the hunter. Eventually, someone tells you the real secret, the one they were always going to tell you. The money was never in the product. It's in building your team, recruiting. And so one night, broke, exhausted, and still believing, you open your phone, scroll to a name you haven't thought about in years, and type, "Hey, it's been way too long. You just became level 1 for someone else." This is where it turns genuinely dark, because the math only survives on an endless supply of new people, which makes you the company's sales force, working for free, pulling your own friends into the hole you're standing in. And when the people who love you start to worry, when your sister says gently, "This really looks like a pyramid scheme," you won't hear concern. You'll have been trained to hear an enemy, negative energy, small-minded, not aligned with your vision. Cut them off. Protect the dream. That isn't an accident either. Walling people off from anyone who doubts isn't a side effect of these companies. It's a tactic, and it's the same one cults use. By the time you notice, the only people left in your life are standing on the exact same ladder you are. Level 7. Rock bottom, and then the bottom. The credit card debt with no income behind it. The savings gone. The garage still full. The friendships ended one unanswered message at a time. A bank account that ran the wrong way for 2 straight years while you called it running a business. But here's the cruelest part. The part that's almost unbearable to watch. Because a staggering number of people who reach level 7 still defend it. And it isn't stupidity, it's survival. Because admitting it was a scam doesn't just mean admitting you lost the money. It means admitting you pushed away the people who warned you, that you recruited friends into the same trap, that you were wrong about the dream you rebuilt your whole identity around. That's not a financial loss anymore. It's an identity collapse, and the human mind will burn almost anything to avoid one. It's called the sunk cost fallacy, and these companies weaponize it more efficiently than almost anything humans have ever built. The deeper the hole, the more impossible it becomes to say the 4 hardest words in the language. I was being scammed. So people keep digging. Some of them are still digging right now. So that's the whole descent, from hay to rock bottom. And here's the one thing to carry out of it. Every level you just watched runs on 2 fuels, a beautiful dream and a little bit of shame. The dream gets you in. The shame keeps you there. Learn to see those 2 working together, and you can spot the entire machine before it ever reaches level 4. So when you get the message, and you will, you don't have to be cruel. Just ask the one question they're trained to dodge. What's the company called? If you get a paragraph about freedom and not one word you can Google, you already know which level they're standing on. And if someone you love is already on this ladder, don't shame them. The people at level 6 genuinely cannot see level 7 coming. Send them this instead.